to Momentum in Real Estate, your guide to success in the dynamic world of real estate. I'm Cory Wolf.
And I'm Kristin James. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned pro, we're here to help you reach new heights.
Success in real estate comes from learning, growing, and serving others.
Join us as we dive into strategies for lead generation, marketing, market trends, and client relationships.
Get ready to ignite your momentum and achieve your goals in real estate.
Let's dive in and unlock your full potential.
This is Momentum in Real Estate.
Well, today's guest is Nikki Balogun, a real estate broker, wealth coach, and entrepreneur who's on a mission to help everyday people break financial barriers and build real, lasting generational wealth. Her journey didn't start smoothly, but those setbacks became the foundation for the expertise she now uses to empower others. Today, as the owner and managing broker of Platinum Key Realty and founder of multiple companies, Nikki teaches clients how to get mortgage ready, launch and scale successful businesses, and invest in income-producing properties with confidence. Through her signature programs and Money Moves live event, she gives people the tools to move from dreaming to doing because she's been exactly where they are and she knows how to help them get to the other side. Welcome to the podcast, Nikki.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.
We are so excited. So, Nikki, we're going to start off with tell us your real estate story in your own words.
Okay, excellent. Now, guys, I have been on this journey for quite some time. And when I started, I didn't actually want to be a broker. I just wanted to be a regular real estate agent, maybe make some money. I was more of a mom person, a wife and a mom. And I just wanted to make a few extra dollars so maybe we could take a nicer vacation. That was my goal. So my family moved from New York, I would say in 2000 to Orlando, Florida. And I was in financial advising in New York, doing bookkeeping and all those wonderful financial things. And then I'm saying, okay, what am I going to do with all these small children and having a household to manage? I said, well, I can do real estate. Someone said real estate. So I said, okay, let me try. So I got my license and I got into it. And guys, I had no idea what I was doing because when you go to school, they don't really teach you how to do it. They're just teaching you how to physically get the license. So I got the license and I still did not know what I was doing. So I went through the maze of figuring it out and going to different classes and programs. And quickly I learned it was a good idea to be educated about what you're actually doing because you're helping someone to buy one of the most expensive assets in their entire lives. So you better know what you're doing. So I about 2 years in it, I kind of got my feet stable. And then I was with a smaller brokerage and my team and my volume overshadowed my brokerage. And I was like, you know what? I think you need to be your own broker. So I became a broker from that point on. And it just gave me the flexibility, real estate itself, to be able to be a mom, going to all the games and going to the pet farm and doing all those things while having some income. So that's how I got into real estate.
That's amazing. I'm really fascinated by how you have, in seemingly, a short amount of time, built multiple streams of income in your career. So I'd love to unpack that for a few minutes. So you've expanded, from what I can tell, into property management, education, you have digital products. You're doing lots of different things that are real estate adjacent. And I assume still selling real estate, to some degree, or your team is. So unpack that for us. How did you decide to build multiple streams? And then what systems have you really employed that have allowed you to grow without just fizzling out? I mean, that's a lot to
Okay.
undertake.
All right. So the first thing I added was property management. And it really came about as a need. I was working with a lot of investors, people who did not live in Florida, and having to look for a company that could take care of my people because everybody wants to make sure their people are taken care of because that's your name and your reputation. We now ventured into creating an additional service that could give them the same kind of excellence. They would feel more comfortable. Okay, Nikki's there and Nikki will see, what's going on. So that's how we added property management. So that has been there for quite a few years. And then I've always been told, Nikki, you should teach because I always train my agents and, train the staff. And they said, Nikki, you should teach. And guys, believe it or not, I was really shy. I was so shy. Like, oh my God, be in front of the camera and talking. And so that not, if anybody's watching, that not to be social, it took me so many years, guys, to finally be social and kind of come into my own. So I kind of had to grow up and be a little bit more confident in my own skin with my own accent and everything. And then eventually just start putting the pieces together. But the breakthrough really happened for me. It's really, really a divine moment when I was asked to create a leadership school in my church. That's how it all started with the coaching. And I thought my pastor was ridiculous. I wasn't saying anything, I was being very respectful. But I was like, what is this guy talking about? What are you talking about? And then I just heard that little voice, why don't you just do it, Nikki? Just try. And so I tried, and that kind of gave me the nuts and bolts, like how to physically put it together, the logistics, because this school was international. You had students from London, students from New York, Atlanta, everybody coming from the different branches for this school, and then having to put together the systems and the curriculum, everything. So now I have that kind of skill set coupled with all the things I know. I've been doing real estate for over 20 years, teaching people how to buy properties, get them to sell their properties very well, invest, teaching agents. And then, of course, I've been running my business forever, guys. So it's a no-brainer. So everything I've learned, now I have the skill set. Now I know what I'm doing. That's how we put it together. And I'm so excited of all the coaching and all those additional streams that we've created. I celebrate God and I thank Him for the opportunity.
That's beautiful because it sounds like you really listen to him. And sometimes that's really hard because sometimes it feels like, is this really what God's leading me to do? That's just amazing. So talk to us a little bit about, something at least I do in my business coaching a lot of is like, okay, Cory, how do I put myself in the CEO seat? Instead of just real estate agent, how do I put myself in CEO seat? So what steps and actions have you taken to really get yourself in that seat where you are in this leadership role and truly supporting and serving others?
Okay. So the first thing I would say is back to where we began. You have to be coached yourself. You have to be educated. You have to take the time to train your own self. How can it be I want to train other people, I want to coach other people, but I don't want to invest in myself? I don't want to be coached. That doesn't make sense. So, for me to be able to step into a CEO position, I had to do other coaching programs that helped me to understand, okay, Nikki, you have to get out of worker mode and become an owner mode, a CEO mode. And how do you differentiate that? How do you think? Put in structure, system, hire people, hire virtual assistants, use your AI tools, use your systems so that you're not just in the working of the business. You're actually now sitting at a bird's eye view, looking down at everything and putting the pieces and shuffling. So that's what I would say.
That's awesome. And yeah, I love how you just kind of boiled that down into like really practical elements. I
Mhm.
wonder if you could go a little bit deeper. If someone has either an idea like they want to start coaching others, or maybe they're just looking at their own real estate business and production and want to create a more automated model for their business, what systems would you say are kind of the building blocks? Like what needs to be done first? How does somebody know if their idea is really ready to scale? What would some of those indications be?
First of all, let's take the coaching portion. If you're going to be a coach, you have to be passionate about something, because there's no way you can be a coach if you don't have passion. Think about coaches that coach in sports, high level sports. You have a trainer or a coach at the gym. They're passionate. If your coach is not passionate, it's not going to help you to get anywhere. So you have to figure out what you are passionate about and what you can talk about all day, every day, at any time, anywhere. You can bring it. And once you have that, then you want to think about who is your audience, your style, your tone, how you look, how you carry yourself, your messaging. Who does that resonate with? Who am I here to help? Who am I here to serve? Like me now, say, where my people at? Where they at? Who are you? Who am I talking to today? Who am I talking to today? So once you figure out, what you have to offer and who are the people that is going to receive this, who are the people you're going to serve, then everything else is easy. It's more technical to put it in a structure that can really help somebody. So like for me, my go-to tools, Chat GPT Premium, Perplexity, and Claude. They are my best friends. Okay. So I normally talk it out with Chat GPT. We have a conversation. Okay. This is what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm thinking. What do you think? I'm thinking this. And I bullet point down and I get an overview of my thought. Then, if I need more facts and more details and figures, is there an audience for this? How many people you think would resonate with this, or or what would somebody pay for something like that? Then I tell now Chat GPT to give me a prompt for Perplexity. Then I go over to Miss Perplexity and I plug that in. Then Perplexity tells me what they have to tell me. And then now I take it back to Chat GPT. I said, this is what Perplexity said. What do you think? Then they tell me what he thinks again. I say, okay, now I may add two more things. And I say, okay, let's go over to Mr. Claude, because Mr. Claude now is going to make everything smooth and beautiful. And then we get a prompt for Claude. So that is the basic tools that I use to flesh out any idea, any thought. From there, if I want to take it to the next level, I go to Hagen. And I have some clones of me in Hagen, and you can have Claude create your PowerPoint slides. I'm giving you guys the play. You have Claude create your PowerPoint slides, upload it into Hagen, stick your avatar on it, clone your voice, and then there you go. You can practically start creating your course content. The only thing that I want to say here, right? Don't just go and make courses without having your information and know what you're talking about, because there is no other disservice than giving somebody something and they're giving you their hard-earned money, and whatever now you're delivering does not deliver. Make sure you're bringing the information, make sure it's thorough, and make sure it's helpful. So that's what I would say if you're trying to create courses or content that you can monetize, something that you already know how to do that you can monetize.
how does someone know if their idea is actually ready to scale? What would some of those indicators be?
First of all, I would say that whatever you are currently doing, you have been successful. You have a track record of helping people. You're actually seeing the wins and you're actually getting a positive feedback. And then you know you have something. This that I'm doing is really genuinely helping somebody, and you do now have a track record of success. So once that's there, you can start thinking about the future. How do I scale this? How do I make it simpler? So in my business, I'm constantly trying to figure out how to make my system smoother where it uses less time. Wherever I can save money, I want to save money, and I want to give my customers a wow experience. I want them to feel loved, appreciated, blessed. So I'm constantly looking how I can tweak things. I can not only use AI, but use my virtual assistants to help to fine tune that system.
That reminds me of Unreasonable Hospitality, that book. Have you read
Mhm.
that before, Nikki?
I've
Oh,
not.
it's
Tell me
such a
about
good
it.
one. It's exactly what you're doing, but just like really specific steps and things in place. You should read it. It's awesome.
Okay, I
Um,
will.
so my next question, it's funny. My husband and I just went to Nate Bargatze, his comedian show. It was so great down in Greenville, South Carolina, and it's his Big Dumb Eyes tour, and it was just so fun. But something that's interesting that my husband and I were talking about is just that you see all this success, like he just fills out these huge arenas. But it didn't come with that. It came with challenges. It came with working really hard. So, what I want to ask you, because it sounds like you're super successful and it almost sounds easy. So,
Mhm.
tell us a couple or just at least like one big challenge and how you overcame it or something that you're dealing with right now.
Okay. So the biggest challenge I face up to today is getting good talent, good people to work with. Because when you're trying to scale, you realize you can't do everything by yourself. So once you've put a lot of what you do in a system where you can onboard people, so it's easy for you to transfer the knowledge you have to someone else. This is how you do it. That's what you say. This is what you do. Once you do that, and for us, we use Asana, another plug. That's what we use to onboard and have things organized. Um, Once you do that, then you can do that. So my challenge is really finding talent, people that are hungry and passionate like me. It's very hard because when you're working with other human beings, you learn over doing this that you can't expect everybody to do everything like you. Everybody's not going to have your passion for life, your outlook for life, your aggressiveness towards your future like you. So you go through the challenges of finding staff. So I've made peace with it, guys. I've made peace as a business owner. You're always recruiting. I have just made peace. So I have a consistent ad and I'm consistently doing interviews to make sure that I have people waiting in the wings just in case someone leaves, I can fill. So that is my biggest challenge. It's such a challenge because think about if you're trying to grow and scale and now you have 50 customers and the person who is doing the customer service or the follow-up leaves. It's like a big hole. It's so frustrating. You're like, oh my God, I've worked, I've spent all this money. Oh no. So those are the times I really get, oh, should I be doing this? Maybe I shouldn't be doing this.
Mm.
Maybe I should just be a realtor and just go home. I don't want to do that. But
I can appreciate that, Nikki, having been, a manager in my previous career.
Mhm.
Um, I experienced a lot of turnover of staff, and I
Yes.
know from personal experience how draining it is, because I felt like I was just constantly onboarding and training
Onboarding and
new
training.
people. And then also you want to like keep investing in your existing staff and keep them, motivated and rocking and rolling. So I can really appreciate that. Out of curiosity, how many people are like employed by you? How many,
Okay. So right now
including your virtual assistants?
sure. Right now, we have 6 people on our team, and we are down 3. So we need to hire 3 more people. So I'm doing
Wow.
interviews
Yeah.
constantly, constantly, constantly to be able to find talent. And not only just talent, somebody that wants an opportunity. I'm so big on the opportunity to grow, to make money, to be successful, to elevate. Somebody who wants. So
Mhm.
it takes a little bit of weeding to
Yeah,
find those kinds of people, but I had to realize that this is the process and not get
totally.
so, normally I would be so sad, guys, so discouraged. I'll be like,
Mm.
onboarding again.
Totally. No, that's what I mean. I can really appreciate that, and it brings me right back to when, I was managing,
Yeah.
people in a team, and not in real estate, but
Mm,
in another career. Nikki, we're at the end of our time, but I want to ask one last question. And you indicated that you're a woman of faith, and I wonder how, like, for you, what role does kind of being spiritually aligned play in your own business growth? Can you tell us a little bit about that? And how do you stay grounded just day to day in life and in business?
sure. Since I've been doing this for a little while, when I started, I was in maybe my mid 20s, right in there. So everybody knows when you're in your 20s, guys, you think you know everything, but you don't really know. You don't really know. So it was really a challenge. The first challenge I had was figuring out who I wanted to be. Being a mom and a wife and being at home and then starting this career, I was so confused. Do I want to be a stay at home mom kind of a person? Or do I want to be a business mogul? Which one do I want? So that was the first challenge. And then when I started to grow in my career, then I started to feel sad because I had to hire people to help me with the children. Then the first time I didn't know their clothes size or their shoe size, I would break down crying. I'm such a terrible mom. Oh my God, all I'm thinking about is myself. So my faith kind of helped me to balance it out, to balance it out. I stepped back a little bit from how I was going more aggressively and started to build more of a team and more of a system so I could be there, because being there for my children was very, very, very important to me. And then currently, I would say it's a process of growth. It's not something you're just going to say this is it or that's it. You eventually grow into being able to stand in your faith. When you start, you're a little bit wobbly, but then eventually you just grow into your faith and you become your own, and then you can just open your mouth and say anything you want and grow. So it comes with growing, with maturing in the faith.
So beautiful. And Nikki, we've so enjoyed this talk with you, and I can't wait to stay connected. And I hope lots of referrals come your way because of this. So thank you so
Wonderful.
much.
Thank you for having me, guys. I'm so proud of you all.
Oh.
Thank you so much for the good work you're doing. I'm super excited to see women in charge making a difference in our world. So keep on spotlighting and highlighting women, because we need support, right? We
That's
need to
right.
support each other. So anything I can do to assist you, let me know. I'm always available and willing to help.
Thank
Right
you,
back at you.
Nikki.
That's
All
awesome.
right.
Have a
Thank
great
you. All
day.
right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Momentum in Real Estate. We hope you found valuable insights and strategies to propel your real estate journey forward.
If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us continue to deliver content that resonates with you. Remember, success in real estate is about continuous learning, growth, and serving others. Keep that momentum going and watch your business thrive.
Until next time, keep pushing forward and bringing your real estate dreams to life.
This is Cory Wall
and Kristin James signing off from Momentum in Real Estate.